everybody, it's Tara here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are back and we are building an island living beach house. Let's not really call it a beach house because it's not in the beach, but it is in a beachy area and it does have beachy vibes. This is a part of a collab I am doing with the Sims streamers and YouTubers community. This is collab number 5, I believe. Yeah, that sounds right. Let me close enough. But the rules were we had to do a beach type house and it had to be on the stilted foundation. It had to have the off the grid lot trait, but it could be anywhere. So it didn't have to be in Sulani, but obviously because I had Sulani, you know, and beach house is where I'm gonna build. So the other caveat with my build I'll say is that with the off the grid lot trait, the lot does have it currently, but it does have some modern amenities in it. So here's the deal. My sim that lives here is a mermaid. Her name is Nala. You may have heard me talk about her in my last speed build. I did her starter hut, and now she's living here with her daughter. Her and her husband are no longer together. He was a dirty, rotten cheater. And don't worry, I set up all this drama myself. We all know that. So she's decided she's gonna move away from that like volcano camp island so she can get her daughter somewhere like a little more social, so she can meet people, she can live the life of the island, like not deal with all these like anti-environmentalists. And she also doesn't really want her husband to know where she's living. So right now, he doesn't. But she's always been very conservative in nature for like as far as the environment goes. Being a mermaid, you know, she's obviously very passionate about the environment around her, especially in Sulani. And she has learned through this conservation type lifestyle how to be really handy and how to fix things up herself, and especially with everything breaking because of the stupid volcano. So I had this kind of storyline idea that this was going to be an off-the-grid lot, and she would have to upgrade everything inside of it to use it on the grid. So for example, just say like, you know, the toilets have like, you could do the superior flush, or like the sinks have sturdy faucets. Like once everything was upgraded to have all of the possible upgrades, then it would be usable. So once she does that with all the items that are inside, I'm going to take the house off the grid for my own gameplay style. But for the build, for the rules, it is technically off the grid. So once this is on the gallery, you could download it. It'll be off the grid. You could play it off the grid. Like I used one of the off the grid toilets, and you know, that kind of stuff. You're also in the neighborhood like that's poppin', so you've got the bar and the community with like the public toilet and all that if you really want to play off the grid. But the whole point is I really wanted to build them a really nice house, and this was a really good opportunity to do so. So I thought I would use that challenge of starting off the grid and then working our way to, you know, living a normal life. But after all that rambling, we could talk about the build. It is technically a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It does have an office, so it could be a 3-bedroom house. Like I said, again, some of it's off the grid stuff naturally. There's also like lights in there that won't work at first, that kind of stuff. But this house can easily be played off the grid. You just won't be able to turn those lights on, you know, just use the candles and you'll be good. Yeah, so it's a small house, and they had a budget of around 50,000 simoleans. I think after they bought the land, it was like 42,000 I ended up spending, and I spent pretty much every dime. I think we have 36 simoleans left to our name. My sim Nala does not have a job either. She grows a lot of plants, she fishes and free dives, and she does some odd jobs. So that's how we make our living. So it's not bad. I mean, it's been working out for us, clearly, if we can build this nice new house. This is her 3rd house. After the hut, we added some more onto the hut, and it looked more like a giant structure thing. But this is her first real house with her daughter. So she's learning to step away from like those, you know, those less modern amenities, those things that make living off the grid is difficult when you have a child. So she's just trying to like adjust herself and make sure that her daughter's life is like as chill and normal as possible, while also still respecting you know, the island of Sulani. So pulling from our inventory our plants right now, probably my favorite thing about the Sims gardening system is how pretty the plants kind of look. I don't know, I think they work really well for landscaping, and they're landscaping that makes you money, so why wouldn't you, why wouldn't you use that instead of the landscaping you have to pay for? So yeah, so that's pretty much our landscape vibe. We struggle with the floor plan. I was really gonna cut this out, but I think that it was really fair for you guys to watch me struggle because it was a really big struggle. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do living downstairs, living upstairs, if I wanted the bedrooms to be separate, as in a bedroom downstairs and a bedroom upstairs. So I played around with this layout a lot, and I felt that the whole closed in like feel wasn't exactly the vibe. It wasn't exactly the move. As you can see, the rooms were getting too small. Like, I try to redo this upstairs a million times, but thank God we have speed builds. That's all I have to say. Thank God I can just speed right over it. Because I kept making these like 1 tile wide hallways, and I hate that. They're so teeny tiny. I know the Sims can use them, but I do not like them. They don't work for me. I can't put any decorations. It feels stiff. It feels awkward. But now we've got it down, guys. We've got it down. I love that movie hangout door for island living. I've been using it a lot. I like that it has some solid patterns, but it also has some colorful painted patterns. So when we go back upstairs, you'll see I use the solid patterns on the other doors and the painted one on what's going to be the daughter's bedroom, because in real life I can imagine that's something the parents might do. They might paint or let their kid paint their door or whatever. Obviously she's a toddler. She's not gonna run around painting her door, or it wouldn't look very good if she did. I don't know. So I just had this kind of idea that maybe, somebody they knew painted it, or maybe they bought it that way, who knows. But yeah, so you can see like we have like these little bit more, like I tried to use those more industrial, like industrial's not the word, like that sink has that off the grid vibe, and that toilet has I think it all has an off the grid vibe in my personal opinion. Oh, this is really cool. I like this. So I stuck this mirror there with like the idea that in real life, if you didn't have as much room as you might have in a larger house, you might do something like, put this mirror in here and it would slide out and you could use it and then slide back in or whatever. You obviously can't really do that in The Sims, but I thought it was a cool idea. So I guess that's that makes me happy. Trying really hard to use island living items, but not having a lot of luck. Has anyone else noticed the one bed in island living? Is there more than one? It doesn't have a lot of discomfort relief, and it doesn't really help your Sim sleep very well, and it's kind of cute, but it's kind of a pain in the butt for that reason. So I went with the Seasons bed, and I did it in a colorway I have never touched before, because I thought that gave me a little bit more of an island vibe with like the floral. It kind of like was like coconut palm tree color. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. But yeah, so we went and we put a wardrobe in here, and we used a jungle adventure table, and I don't know, I actually really like how this master bedroom came out. Like I said, I was trying to, bounce around and use stuff from my inventory and try to do necessities first and then come back and fill in with a little decor later. So like, for example, obviously that crystal's from her inventory. We hung a fish above her closet because she does a lot of fishing. The kitchen is one of my favorite kitchens of all time. Now, like I said, again, just a reminder with the off-the-grid trait, they do have a kitchen, but in my mind it's not functioning. So they also end up having a barbecue pit out so they can do their cooking outside until she upgrades the stove with all her, fancy upgrades. And that kind of gives me a better, like, I don't know, it gives me something to work towards. It gives me a reason to keep playing the family, and I like that idea. So that's kind of what we're rolling with. Love the paneling inside. I think that's a fantastic fun option. I tried to use that big cushy couch, what do they call that, like the too many pillows couch, but I couldn't bring myself to bring those colors in, so I went for something a little fancier. Fancy TV, again, off the grid. Those aren't going to work until she upgrades them. That's the idea. I love this shelf. That's something I could talk about for hours. I'm obsessed with that shelf. I am so glad I have one of these ladder bookshelves in my room, and I was really stoked when I got it. So the fact that I can have it in Sims now is pretty cool too. And it's an awesome place to display your island living collectibles. I don't know. I really dig it, and it works outside of island homes too, obviously. This build, when all is said and done, uses so many packs. Like, I'm pretty sure that desk is from Seasons. There's definitely, obviously, base game. There's island living. There's a ton of kids' room stuff. This room comes out so cute. Okay, I'm obsessed with this room. If I was a toddler, this is where I would want to live. It's like deep browns and pinks and purples and blues, and it just looks so homey and so girly and colorful. I was so happy my daughter, or my daughter, my sim had a daughter, because I'm really hoping that she's a mermaid. Fingers crossed. 50-50 shot, because her dad was not a mermaid. So we'll see what happens there. But I think the room is really cute. I think she's got plenty of toys. I think she's got plenty of pink and sparkle and cuteness. But now we're going to go and we're going to do this bathroom, where again, like, I felt like using that older shower gave me a more off the grid vibe. So did that toilet. So did that sink. Like, I was trying not to use anything that looked too modern. I wanted it to feel like this is stuff that she could have made or built or put together herself, you know? You can go to Home Depot and buy a toilet and hook it up yourself if that's what you want to do. So that was kind of the idea. She was going to make all this become a more like normal life for her daughter, but she was only going to do it if she could do it herself and make it, make it a good choice for the environment, basically. Here I am struggling to put a pool in. I haven't used a pool in I have built, I don't know, maybe 20 houses in Sulani. I have been playing in Sulani ever since June 21st, and I haven't yet used a pool. Problem, you can't have a pool with a stilted foundation, which makes total sense. Absolutely, like, I'm with you. I understand why. But so trying to piece this together and make it work was a little bit more difficult than I expected, but it ends up being really cute, and it stays as this tiny little lap pool for a little while until I start decorating, and then we'll expand it just a touch. So we're doing the outside because I feel like in Sulani the outside is really important. So before adding more decorations inside, I included things like the barbecue pit. Tried to put stairs in the back, but I don't like the way they turned out, so I kind of moved everything to the front. I imagine this lot's like backed up like into some sort of like wooded area, or that's kind of the look it gives you. So maybe, you know, they don't hang out in the back as much, which is why they put most of their lawn space in the front. We're getting towards the end of like the structure now, and now it's time to buy the fun stuff. We have a little bit of money left over, so I'm like, what can I do to spend some more money? I'm trying to use things again, like that bench gives me kind of a handmade feel. That grill's, like the charcoal, is a little more casual than like having a full gas grill. Here I am expanding the pool now because I remembered we had pool floaties, and again, I hadn't used any pools and I needed to use the pool floaties, so I gave it just a nudge, just one more row of pool. Pulling out the last of our items from our inventory. We were in the lifeguard career for a while, so we got that towel, and then the scuba diver career thing. So we got that little oxygen tank, which I don't really know what you're meant to do with, just for decoration. But this is our skill building area that we're working on now. Just slowly adding some more pieces. So like I said, you're just gonna see me bounce around for the next like minute or two. Again, laptop, same deal. I felt the laptop made sense for off the grid because you may not have internet, but she likes to write, and she could charge that anywhere, and she could take that to a lot that does have power until her lot is up and running with the power. Yeah, and now we had some money for cabinets, so we're throwing those in there. Just piecing everything together. Those are her fish, some of her fish. She's a really big fisherman girl, so that makes up a lot of our decor. But we're pretty much getting to the end of the build here, so there's my cat. I'm so sure you heard that. If you didn't, I sound like a crazy person, but he's being obnoxious right now. But anyway, I'm gonna cut off right here. I hope you enjoyed the build, and make sure to check out everybody else's video. That'll be linked in the description below, at least their socials and everything. So check everybody out, and this was a really fun collab to do. I love seeing what everybody else creates, and if you enjoyed this and you'd like to see something else that fits in with this theme, totally different ideas executed completely differently, that's the best part. So check them out below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Like a bird bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go